And I remember like leaving that listening session and just thinking, damn, we fucking did it.
Hey, I'm Lauren, and I'm a Soundgarden superfan. I had the privilege of seeing them 3 times, never in the 90s, because they broke up 2 years after I was born. I would say that Soundgarden are one of the best, if not the best, bands to have come out of the Seattle rock scene in the late 80s and early 90s. I'd put them up there with Alice in Chains. I think that the combination of Chris Cornell, Kim Thayil, Matt Cameron, and Ben Shepherd is unmatched. They were also amazing on their earlier albums with Hiro Yamamoto, but something just changed when they added Ben to the band.
I think that the dynamic of the band, it just became a little more artistically free. Like we had more areas that we could go in musically with Ben in the band.
All 4 members contributed a lot to Superunknown. We got one of the most perfect albums in rock history. I think it is just almost flawless from start to finish.
And I remember like leaving that listening session and just thinking, damn, we fucking did it. I was on such a high after that record got mixed. I remember I had a cassette that Brendan O'Brien gave me, and I was just playing it for people, and I was just like, God, what do you think, man? This is really good, right? And everyone was just like, dude, this is next level.
March 8th, 1994 is when it came out, peaked at #1 on the Billboard 200, and won the band their first 2 Grammys with Black Hole Sun and Spoon Man.
Sorry, Aerosmith. I don't know if Black Hole Sun is a metal song, but I'll take this.
I have taken on the impossible task of attempting to rank all 15 songs, not including the reissue, which had this track, She Likes Surprises. Keep watching and you'll see what I picked as #1, and it might kind of surprise you. Soundgarden are probably the only band that can make an instrumental sound this cool with that much going on, and this was actually a Ben Shepherd contribution. But there are just so many other good songs in the album that I couldn't bring myself to put it before anything else, so sadly it has to take the last spot. Sorry, Ben. One of the things that I think set Soundgarden apart from the rest of the Seattle bands, they all had their own thing, was that they blended punk with metal, and you can really hear that on their earlier albums, Ultra Mega OK, Louder Than Love, and then of course Bad Motorfinger. And Superunknown is where they took things a little bit more commercial and digestible and psychedelic, but I think that Kickstand is the one song on the album that really still accentuates their punk roots. Now that we've got the 2 shortest songs out of the way, the ranking gets even harder because all the rest of the songs from here on out are good at worst. But I put Limo Wreck here. It's really like dreamlike and cool sounding. The vocals are killer as they are on every other song. I think that if I were on a road trip and I had to cut one of the songs, this would probably be one of the ones I would skip to get to the rest. So this is another one of the songs on the album that I feel like I feel differently about depending on the day. I like that it has like a psychedelic, ambient, hard rock sound to it. Mailman is definitely one of the weirdest songs on the record, and it has a really, really, really heavy guitar riff, and Matt Cameron actually came up with it, so that's probably why. My Wave was actually one of the singles on the album, and it's cool. It's got like a fun, surfy groove to it and a lot of attitude. It's definitely the only Soundgarden song that has a surf vibe to it, so that makes it stand out for sure. Fresh Tendrils was another one of Matt Cameron's contributions, and I think it is one of his best ones to their whole catalog, and you can really hear that in the drumming.
One aspect of that record that I personally like is I think the drums are mixed really good. Like I can hear the tonality of my kit, and I can hear like my snare, the way my snare is supposed to sound, which I didn't really get on Bad Motorfinger.
Pardon the interruption. We'll get back to Soundgarden in just a minute, but did you know that we had a merch store? We have hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, pins, stickers, a cell phone case, and some other stuff. But today, we just launched 2 brand new collections. The first is our 80s collection, which features an all-new custom design that you can get in multiple colors as a t-shirt, mug, poster, and even a tote bag. Then there's our campaign collection, which you can get as a t-shirt, cropped long-sleeve sweatshirt, bumper sticker, and a magnet. Check it all out now on loudwiremerch.com. Now let's get back to Soundgarden, shall we? Out of all of the Seattle bands, I think that Soundgarden were definitely the trippiest, and the song Head Down is really, really trippy. The layered vocals have a really Beatles-esque feel to them, but there's like a droning, dark overall feel to the song. So it's kind of like the Beatles meets Black Sabbath, and Soundgarden actually kind of combined those on a lot of their songs. Let's face it, a lot of really good rock songs came out of acid trips, but I can only imagine that tripping about the end of the world is probably really scary.
I'm, in a sense, in my own mind, describing something that happened to me, but doesn't look like something that could have happened to someone.
The heavy chugging riff that like repeats throughout the entire song, I think really encapsulates that feeling of doom and despair super well. So that just goes to show how awesome Soundgarden were, that they were able to capture a feeling so well with sound.
I think Soundgarden has been fairly successful in that, creating that atmosphere for the listener to escape into.
Spoon Man's one of the more lighthearted, fun songs in the album. This, like I said before, won a Grammy.
I want to thank my folks who probably are more excited about this than I am.
And it was another one of the singles, and they actually brought artist The Spoon Man, who the song is based on, to come and play the spoons on the song.
It's such an honor.
The opening track of any album is the listener's first impression, so it has to be damn solid.
You gotta kick it off with a killer to grab attention.
And I don't think that any song on Superunknown could have opened this album better. It just has so much energy and just like packs with a punch and sets you up for the rest of the album.
Black hole sun, won't you come?
I might get a lot of heat for this, but I think that Black Hole Sun is proof that your most famous, well-known song isn't always your best. Honestly, I probably would have ranked it even lower if it wasn't so massive and so commercially imperative to their career. And it is a great song. The video is iconic. I just don't think that it compares to some of the other ones. Keep watching to see what the top few are. A lot of people reject the word grunge, but I think if there's a quintessential grunge song, Fell on Black Days is it. There's twangy guitars, really crisp vocals, and the lyrics are about mental health and depression. And yet, by the time you're done listening to it, you don't feel depressed anymore. And I think that's what a lot of the bands from Seattle are really good at, is taking these negative feelings and putting them into something that sounds so good that you feel better by the end of it.
Just like suicide.
This is the song that taught me that a flock of crows is called a murder and not a flock. I just think that this song goes to show how incredibly poetic Chris Cornell was as a songwriter, because only he could take the death of a bird and turn it into a song this good. And it's also Kim Thile's favorite solo to play on the whole album. What can I say? If anybody were to tell me that they had never heard Soundgarden before, this is the song that I would show them. It's digestible to the ordinary listener, and I think it really represents the band as a whole because it highlights everybody's strengths. The guitars are good, the vocals are good, the rhythm is good. I think that if there is a perfect Soundgarden song, The Day I Tried to Live is it. Let us know how you would rank the songs, how you feel about Soundgarden, and what other albums you might want to see us rank songs on in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also check out our merch store, loudwiremerch.com. We got a lot of cool stuff, and we got more cool designs coming on the way. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.